Hi, I'm Andy Friedlander, this is Vauxhall Football TV. We're joined by Roy Hodgson, the new England football manager. Roy, going into the Euros, you haven't had much time to prepare the squad or select the squad. Tell us, has it been a challenge?
That's enormously challenging. Obviously had in my mind the fact that a lot of players were responsible really for the qualification. We were fortunate that many of these players who were with us were players who played a very big part in helping us to get there. So I was quite keen to make sure that I didn't make any sweeping or wholesale changes and maybe leave out players who deserved the chance to actually try to win the tournament after doing so well to qualify England. But on the other hand, of course, I was quite keen to bring in one or two players maybe that I'd seen and liked the look of during my time with the Premier League. And so whittling it down to 23 was always going to be a very, very difficult process. And into the bargain, we've had the injury situations to contend with, which has been very unfortunate. One or two of the younger players that I was keen to maybe have a look at or possibly take with us, they disappeared through injury. And recently we've lost our goalkeeper, John Ruddy, and we've lost Gareth Barry. And Gareth Barry has played a major part really in helping England to qualify for this tournament.
And you talk there about young players. We have still got very exciting young players in the squad. Do you think they're going to really grow from the experience of this and give us a chance to see their talent in action?
Well, I think not only the ones we've got in the squad, I think there's quite a lot who aren't in the squad. You know, I'm thinking of Carl Walker and Chris Smalling, for example. I think of Jack Wilshere. Obviously, we have got Danny Welbeck in the squad, but there's quite a lot of players really that I think look very interesting. Sturridge would be another one. Jordan Henderson, who's now been with us, Adam Johnson, who's been with us. There's an awful lot of players, I think, that have got a good chance during the coming months after this tournament to make a big impression on me and on the people I work with. And it's going to be up, of course, to the players that I have selected and have given the chance to do the job. They must, make certain that they don't leave any stone unturned, and they've got to try and produce the performances to keep these young lads at bay.
Are we producing enough young talent?
I think we're trying. I think there's no doubt that we're trying very hard to do so. Then the academy system is constantly being upgraded. The new plans for the academy systems are very far-reaching, very, very interesting. But of course, in the Premier League, like in all the top leagues, we have to accept the fact and compete with the fact that many of the top teams, they don't necessarily populate their teams with English players. They populate their team with the best players that Europe and the world can provide. So, it's not unusual for a national team manager to be at a game where of 22 players on the field, there might be no more than 3 or 4 of them happen to be English. So you can't do anything about that. It's a free market and players are free to move and clubs are free to take who they want. You can't press them into signing Englishmen. But on the other hand, it does make the job of a national manager that much more difficult when half the time the players, are not available for selection.
I mean, you are the first England manager to have St George's Park up in Burton, not necessarily at your disposal, but there as a facility developing talent. What kind of things there do you think we can look for in terms of? Well,
I think it's going to be a top-class facility. There's no doubt it's state-of-the-art in every respect. I think that a lot of players will benefit from their time there. The pitches are marvellous. All of the medical and sports science facilities, the indoor pitch, which is absolutely first class. And I think it's good that England have got a national training centre where the youth teams and the younger teams in particular can come and assemble and be under the same roof. And it's also very important for the coaching setup because now most of the coaching setups that we have or the coaching courses that we do, especially at the highest level, they can be conducted at St George's Park. And I'm hoping that we will benefit from the National Centre, one which we haven't maybe had for since Liverpool, I suppose, was in full flow.
Now, going back to the squad, we have got the young players, we've got the experienced players. Was Steven Gerrard the obvious choice for captain?
Well, I think so. I think that, John Terry, we know, was not allowed to be captain. There's another man with experience and a man who has captained the team. But I think Steven Gerrard, with his 80-odd caps, with his obvious experience as captaining England in the past, captaining Liverpool, and of course a man I know well from having worked with him, for me it was, quite a an easy decision to say, if I'm going to choose a captain, it'll be Stephen is the one I'll go for. But I'm also hoping that in the team, there's a lot of experience in the team. Frank Lampard, for example, Terry, is still there and thereabouts. Ashley Cole. There's an awful lot of players really who've played a lot of football, played many games. Wayne Rooney, although he's young, has played many matches. It's important for me that all the players take some responsibility and we don't just look to one man to provide the impetus for our performances. I expect Stephen really to play as well as he can play, and then I want the others to pitch in and help him out as best they can.
Well, Stephen and yourself have the whole country behind you, so all the best for
Thank you very much.
Poland and Ukraine. So, if you would like to see the rest and other parts of our conversation with England manager Roy Hodgson, join me and the rest of the team. We're going to be with you throughout the Euro 2012 campaign in Poland and in the Ukraine. So make sure every day you check vauxhallfootball.co.uk.